Hello, it's the Buzo Techie here, and this is part 2 of making the RSS article aggregator. So in this episode, I'm going to, I guess, use this approach that I learned from the Pragmatic Programmer book. And also, same program manager also talked about, which is essentially trying to build so the section in the Pragmatic Programmer book, what they call it is tracer bullets, but I think the term MVP or an end-to-end MVP is a more intuitive term, but essentially, building a system, I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but 2 ways to do it is to build each system module by module, like build a module independently in a vacuum and build another module independently in a vacuum, and essentially at the end you try to integrate them all together, which is cool, but that approach comes with some risk. Engineering in general comes with some risk and unknowns, but this approach, I would say, prevents you from getting feedback on important unknowns sooner. For instance, your high-level design may not actually be feasible, and data flows may not integrate properly, and you never know that until you do that integration step. And if you do that integration step last and it doesn't work out, then you have to go backwards and fix everything, which is a waste of time. From a customer facing side, doing end-to-end MVP, you get to show the customer, not the full product, but you get to show them what you have currently, and showing them what you have currently would allow the customer to give you feedback on if this is what they want, or if they want to transition to do it another way, or something like that. So, as opposed to, making each module independently and then integrating it all together, and then after that you show the customer and they're like, oh, this is not what I wanted at all. So usually when I do my projects, I do it the other way, where I make a module at a time, but I'm gonna try doing it this way, the end-to-end MVP approach. So first I just want to quickly describe what the MVP that I plan on doing for this episode. So essentially, as I remember before, the aggregator at a particular time X, it asks the articles module to fetch the latest articles. It gets that, and then it turns it to a string and sends it to the email module. So the email module can write an email and send it to all the emails in the address book. So in our case, what we're going to do for the MVP, so I'm trying to get better at my handwriting, so I think generally I need to just write slower. So when time X hits, we will make a request to the articles module. Say make a request, but it's not like it's a and currently articles module is really just gonna have one RSS link stored, one RSS info stored. So one RSS info. So it's gonna make that, and then to string, we just turn that to a string, and then make a request to email. I keep saying request, but it's not a request. We just make a call to the email. I guess you can consider a request to the email module. And it's really just send email to, I'll just over here, I'll just write one RSS info and one email. So, okay, so essentially the MVP, this is kind of like a basic end-to-end version of the goal of the software. When time X hits, we get the RSS info from articles. Articles is really just going to have just one RSS info in it for now, right? So we get that, we turn to a string, and then we ask emails to send that string information to the address that the email module has. And currently the email is just gonna have one email address, and then after that, the function returns, and that flow will be considered done. And this is like the MVP for the send articles flow that we talked about in the previous episode. So yeah. So our first step is to tackle this portion. How can we get the system to send something at a particular, or to execute some program at a particular time X, or to execute some functionality at a particular time X every time. Hey, so doing some research. I did some research on how to, get the system to run programs at a particular time. And it makes sense for a system to have such a capability because, there are jobs that run maybe at midnight every day to back up data or whatnot. I wasn't particularly familiar with how to do it, but there's a way. When there's a Linux, there's a way. Anyways, so there's a functionality, a program called Cron tab, which allows you to edit files and describe which jobs you want to run at what particular times. And in the Linux OS, there is I think it was a cron daemon. Was it a cron or cron tab daemon? Anyways, there's this thread or process that goes through those files and executes the command whenever the time that you specified, executes it whenever the time that you specified takes place. So we're going to make use of that for our particular project. But first, when you write a test, you just need to test it to see how it works, and if it works. I'm sure it works, but let's try to figure out how it works, right? So first, let's just make a dummy program. So what we're just going to do, we're going to say touch we're just gonna make a so we're just gonna do that. Let's see. Okay, so if we check right now, we don't have that program, we don't have that file there, but if we ran our program, then we have the file there, right? So I'm gonna remove that file, and I'm gonna use the command they talk about here to edit the Cron tab. Cron tab file. There's ways to access a Cron tab file directly, but it's recommended that you edit it using the program, which makes sense because program probably has like different validation functionality to make sure you're not writing trash. Yeah, so you can modify your swear. I don't know how to spell Kronos. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I guess for us, honestly, we really just want we just want to run this in maybe, because right now it's 624, so maybe 626. We just want to test it to see. So let's see. The first one is minute. Day of month. Just gonna put every day. Day of month. And our command is gonna be okay, so just installed a new Chrome tab. So let's just grep right now to make sure that it's not there right now. Okay, now let's see. Just chill. Let's see. 626 happens. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's see. Oh, it worked. 626 hit, and it made the file. Okay, so. That particular problem is solved. We know how to trigger some programmatic functionality at a particular time. So the way this is written, it's gonna happen every day at 626. But we'll edit that later so it can be more of what we want it to do. But right now it's actually, write the program and stuff. So, but yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I made, our directory for us to start this project. So first I want to do some work on the articles module. But before I even do that, let me make a Maven repo. For us here. So now I'm jumping into the coding. So first in the articles module, I make the articles class, which will contain attributes for the articles that we care about. Attributes such as description, name, and most importantly, the link to the article. So whenever we get the article, we can just click on the link and then go to the website of the article and read it. After that, I start declaring the main public function for the articles module, or the main API function, which is what it's supposed to do is if it's called, it gets the
It provides a list of articles based off the RSS feed information that the articles module has. And our MVP currently is just going to be one RSS link for now, but of course more will be added. After that, I begin writing the make the RSS feed request function, which takes an RSS feed link, makes an HTTPS request to get the RSS feed XML information as an HTTPS response. And then when we get an HTTPS response, we use string builder to convert it to a string and then return it. So this function essentially serves as the first step to get that information, to get the RSS feed information.
Okay, so yeah, we've been we wrote this function, the make RSS feed request, which is supposed to make a request to RSS link, and that is hopefully what we receive is a list of articles. HTTP response containing a list of articles. So we're just going to go ahead and test that to see how that works. So this is a private function, and I just ended up making this public function test whatever. I'm going to end up throwing away this function later on, but just put that there so we can be able to test it. Over here, we're just going to return null, so that can compile. Then over here, we could write, okay, sorry. I was supposed to give this a link. So we're going to give it this hackernoon RSS feed for now. All right. And I'm just going to say, okay, so then over here, sure. Oh, I guess we don't really do that. Just say article module. And then articles module test. It's gonna say it wants to build something. So we're just gonna add build declaration. Let's see how that runs. Can we just run it from here straight? Oh, and then, okay, well, look at that. We were able to get, it's a lot of stuff, but this looks like the RSS feed for hackernoon. So I guess this is where HTTP request. I'm trying to, let me see. I don't know if I'm able to just print out the first maybe 100 characters so we can see the top of it. Output dot substring 0 100. Yeah, let's see how that runs now. Okay, so I mean, we can tell, I printed out the first 100 characters. We can tell that this is the HTTP response to our request to the hackernoon RSS feed link. So that is great. Looks like that part works. And the next step is using this data we have, this XML data, parsing it into these article objects, and then returning it using this function. So let's make another private function.
So right now I'm working on the parse RSS feed function, which gets the XML RSS feed and parses it into a list of article objects that we defined before. So as you can see, I'm referencing Geeks for Geeks to understand the format for the RSS feed in XML. Essentially, the format is a simplified version. Is there's a main channel element which contains some other elements that describe the metadata of the channel, and the channel is really just the source of the RSS. So our channel is Hacker News, and then it also contains a list of item elements, where each item represents an article. And each article also has similar elements as the channel elements. Well, besides the list of items, it doesn't have that, but it has, title, description, and whatnot. So when I'm writing this parsing logic, I need to have some state variables, specifically the in item boolean, so I can know whether or not I'm currently within item elements, so I can parse the thing appropriately. So the parser that's being used right now actually is the parser library is, I believe it was the Sax parser. Sorry, this is me in the future recording a voiceover, but a Sax parser. And the way it works is, the way one is supposed to use it is it provides a base class called default handler, and the default handler provides different handler functions that are supposed to be overwritten by the user, and the handler functions are called at different states of the parsing. So as you can see, the handler can be, you have the start element handler, start document handler, end element handler, which get called at the start of the document or the start of element or the end of element. The characters handler, I believe gets called when it hits characters within elements, right? So I create some, state variables to help with the parsing, such as, current article title, current article description, current article link, which represents, whatever item tag we're in right now. This is that information. You can see there's a characters handler, and really all the characters handler does is it just adds, every time it hits a character that's within elements, it just adds that to a string. And then when we hit an end element, we know what that string is. So when we hit the end element, let's say we hit link, right? And we know if we're in an item, then we know that this string that we have is actually just the link for that article. So we put that in. We put that in the article, the current RSS article link variable, and then when we hit the end tag for item, then we just put we make the new article and add it to the list. So after that, after we implement that, we just use the Sax parser to start parsing using the handle we made. And and that should provide us. Oh yeah, we just added a function to return the array list of articles, and then we use that to get the final parsed output.
Okay, so we got at least we implemented the RSS parser. So let's test it and let's see if it works. So write out our test method. We essentially just we make the request, we parse it, then we print out the articles array list, which should be objects that represent the parsed RSS feed from hackernoon. So let's see how that works. Let's run it. Let's see. Okay, so we got so we got articles, but I should have added a toString so I can actually see what's going on. Let's do that. So now the toString method is implemented. Let's see what happens now. Okay, it looks like we have some bugs, honestly. It looks like we're getting the title and the description, but our link is empty and our channel is empty. Now, why might that be the case? Let's see what's going on with our parser. Let's see. Hey, I found the bug. I just tested it out to make sure it works, but I reset it just to show what exactly it was. I goofed up a bit. The start and length when you're handling the character data. Yeah, so start is supposed to be the index or the character where the string starts from, or where the character starts from, or the string starts from, and length is the length of the string. So what I did was I said, okay, I equals start. I guess I was thinking that length was so essentially there's a substring within a string, and I guess. I don't know what I was thinking, but either way, what this code does exactly is it would say, okay, I equals start. Okay, now start might be the 500 character. So 4 index 499. Let's just say index 500. Yeah. Start would be index 500. But if the length of the character, if the length of the string is 10. Then since 500 is greater than 10, it's not going to do this at all. So what this is actually supposed to be is start plus the length, because this is supposed to be the end index. So that actually ends up fixing the problem, and then we can run. And again. Well, build and run, and then so now we see that we actually get all of the. Oh, I think I still have some debugging stuff here. I'll fix that later. Anyway, we see that we actually get all of the information that we care about now. Channel, hackernoon, the title, build smarter models with cares, description, and then the link itself to the article. And then if we actually click the link, it opens up another monitor, but it takes us to show my information. Anyways, it takes us to the article. So that's cool. That's a really good first step. So yeah. Okay. From there, let me just do a little bit of cleanup at this point. So let's try opening up another article too, because I think it's pretty cool. Link. Feature remote sensing, few shot learning. So yeah, good. So yeah, this is the article. That's pretty cool. Of course, right now all of them are from Hacker News, but since we're just building an MVP, that's what we're gonna do. But as we continue to build up from the MVP, add the ability to actually add the RSS channels and links that we care about. So okay, first of all, let me clear off that high. Yeah, here. So I just did this when I was debugging to figure out what the heck was going on. Okay. So there's that. Just make sure that clears that. Walk over here, so that's cool. So I believe that I think based off these two functions, we can actually make our get articles. So we actually just change this test function to actually I'll just change this to I like that name, get feed. Let's say string, get the output. With articles, and we can just return it over here at this point. And then the app. Over here. Wait, what? Why did we get latest articles? I must have already had a something that did that. Okay, I guess this is supposed to be what did that, but oh well. Okay, so get feed. And then this is honestly not gonna be anything. So this doesn't really do anything different, but it's just kind of reorganizing the articles module. We're just wrapping up the articles module a bit so it can expose the service that we care about, which is the get feed function. Essentially what get feed is supposed to do is return us the feed information as a string. Honestly, I wonder if it's better for me to just, because, yeah, I guess, should we care about, just thinking about, should we actually care about, the article struct, or should we just care about the string? So I may change this a bit. And this seems to make more sense. It seems to make more sense to keep the article information, the article object in this module, because I don't think anyone else ever needs the articles module. So I guess it's all about that whole concept of keeping information and data in modules and only exposing things when you need to. I don't know, that just feels like the right thing to do. Yeah. So articles, feed equals return feed. This is it, and then you come to the app thing. We're making our new articles module. We don't. This is a redundant call at this point. Get feed and then print that, and everything should be the same at this point. Just can I open up the terminal again? He showed me how to do it. Maybe that close it. No, it's not closed. Anyways, so let's run that. Make sure everything still builds. Make sure everything still runs properly. And yeah, everything looks good. Okay, so now we got the main MVP portion of the article module working. Let's tie the article module together with the chrono time feature to make progress on our end-to-end MVP implementation. So how would we do that? So for that, actually, I'm just gonna make a script out here. So in this is the repo itself. I just want to see what's in here. That's gonna be the Java app in there. This is the main repo. So over here, what we're gonna do is vim run, or should we call it vim get feed. Send and generate. Call it that. permissions, execute permissions. Let me just do a quick test run to make sure this works. Okay, that's cool. So that did work. Let's see. For that. I forget what I just named it. What did I name it? Output. Okay, so if I were to call this script, we'll get everything. Okay, great. So let's remove our script right now. Let's remove the result right now. And what we're gonna do is do this command that I keep forgetting. Cron tab E. Cron tab E. And 58. Let's see if I can get this in on time. Get this in on time. So I'm actually just gonna put 59 because I know this thing's gonna. Okay. So yeah, so we have this. We're telling it to execute at that time. So right now, as we check, there's nothing in output, and we wait. Okay, it's 10:59. Let's see. Okay, we have our article, and we have our output. Now, if we check what's in there, it is our stuff. The RSS stuff. Actually, might be better if we. Oops. Let me see it like this. So, yep, we have our information, and so we saw that we set it to 10:59. Our information came in. The RSS articles came in, and we can click on a link to see what's up. And here's a hackernoon article about somebody making bank on TikTok. Hopefully I can make bank off these videos. But yeah, so I'd say that we've made pretty good progress on this MVP portion of the project. I do want to maybe later on write an install script so that, maybe the install script makes the cron E modification, and just hard coding the path seems a bit icky. So yeah, but that'll probably be later. I don't think there's a need to do that right now. But for now, this part is working. Next portion would be, taking this string, creating the MVP portion of the version of the email module, and sending the string to the email module so the email module can send it to my email. So anytime I check my email at whatever time, anytime at whatever time, which I guess would be like 12 or something, I will get an email with the newest articles from hackernoon. And of course, after the MVP version, we're gonna build on top of that so we can get to the actual requirements that were described in the first video. So yeah, well, that said, that sounds great, and yeah,